Welcome from all of us at He Is Risen Ministries. Your support by subscribing and giving a thumbs up helps us keep creating videos that inspire and equip those seeking a deeper walk with the Lord. I'm glad you're here today. Take a breath, settle in, and let's talk together about something every one of us wants, no matter our age, background, or life experience: wisdom. Most of us can feel the difference between knowledge and wisdom, even if we don't always have words for it. Knowledge is information, it's facts, it's what you can look up online or learn from a book. Wisdom is something else. Wisdom is knowing what to do with that information. Wisdom is knowing when to speak and when to stay quiet, when to act and when to wait, when to push forward and when to step back. The Bible speaks often about wisdom. One place it returns to again and again is the book of Proverbs. Proverbs is a collection of practical sayings about everyday life, work, family, money, words, choices, consequences. Proverbs opens by telling us why it exists. It says it is written to give wisdom and instruction, to help us understand words of insight, to teach prudence, knowledge, and discretion. In simple terms, Proverbs exists to help ordinary people live better lives. Here's an idea that may sound simple, but it changes everything once you really sit with it. Knowledge is information. Wisdom is knowing how to use information. You can know a lot and still make a mess of things. You can memorize facts, quote statistics, win arguments, and still choose poorly. Think about health for a moment. Most of us know that exercise is good for us. We know eating too much sugar isn't helpful. We know sleep matters. That's knowledge. Wisdom is deciding to take a short walk today instead of sitting for another hour. Wisdom is choosing water instead of another soda. Wisdom is turning off the screen and going to bed on time. Knowledge tells you what is true. Wisdom helps you live it out. Another difference between knowledge and wisdom is this: knowledge can increase pride, wisdom increases humility. The more we know, the easier it is to feel like we have it all figured out. We start to believe we are right, that our way is best, that others should listen to us. But wisdom does something very different. Wisdom reminds us of how much we do not know. Wisdom makes us careful. It slows us down. It teaches us to listen. The book of Proverbs says that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. That word fear does not mean terror. It means reverence. It means recognizing that God is God and we are not. Wisdom begins when we accept that we don't see the whole picture, that our perspective is limited, that our understanding is incomplete. And here is another truth that may surprise you. Wisdom often comes by making bad decisions. That's not something we usually like to admit, but if we are honest, it's true. Most of the lessons that shaped us the most did not come from our successes. They came from our mistakes, from choosing poorly, from trusting the wrong person, from speaking too quickly, from not speaking soon enough. Think back over your life. Some of your greatest wisdom likely came after moments you wish you could redo. That job you took that looked perfect on paper but drained your soul. That relationship that taught you what love is not. That financial decision that seemed small at the time but carried long-term consequences. Those moments hurt. They were uncomfortable, sometimes embarrassing, sometimes costly, but they taught you things no book ever could. The book of Proverbs acknowledges this reality. It talks openly about correction, about reproof, about learning the hard way. It reminds us that a wise person listens to instruction, even when it stings. This brings us to the role of age and experience. Older people who have wisdom have usually lived a lifetime of trying to maneuver around bad decisions. They have stories not just of victories but of failures, of detours, of lessons learned slowly. This is not accidental. It is part of how God shapes us. An older person with wisdom is not someone who never fell. It is someone who got back up, who paid attention, who learned, who adjusted. And that kind of wisdom is a gift. In a world that often celebrates youth and speed, wisdom reminds us of the value of time, of patience, of reflection. Older people who have succeeded over life's failures can be an incredible source of guidance for the young, not because they are perfect, but because they are honest. They can say things like, "Oh, if I could do that over, I would slow down. I learned that the hard way. I wish someone had warned me." That kind of wisdom cannot be downloaded. It is earned. The book of Proverbs encourages younger people to listen to their elders, to value counsel, to seek guidance. And it encourages older people to share what they have learned, not with arrogance, but with compassion. Wisdom is meant to be passed on. Now let's talk about how we can actively seek wisdom. Wisdom does not usually arrive all at once. It grows little by little, decision by decision. One of the simplest and most practical ways to pursue wisdom is by developing a daily habit with the book of Proverbs. There are 31 chapters in Proverbs. Most months have 30 or 31 days. A helpful practice is this: read one chapter of Proverbs each day, matching the chapter to the day of the month. On the first day of the month, read chapter 1. On the second day, read chapter 2, and so on. It doesn't take long, often just a few minutes, but over time, something happens. You start to recognize patterns. You begin to notice how often Proverbs talks about words, about anger, about money, about patience, about pride. You may read the same chapter many times over the years, and yet different verses will stand out at different seasons of life. What you didn't need at 30 may become essential at 50. What didn't make sense at 20 may feel obvious at 60. That is the beauty of wisdom literature. It grows with you. The book of Proverbs reminds us that wisdom is not abstract. It shows up in everyday moments, in how we speak to our spouse, in how we respond when we are frustrated, in how we handle success, in how we deal with disappointment. Proverbs warns us about careless words. It tells us that words have the power of life and death. Most of us have experienced this firsthand. A kind word at the right moment can change someone's day. A harsh word spoken in anger can linger for years. Knowledge tells us words matter. Wisdom helps us choose them carefully. Proverbs also talks about diligence and laziness. It doesn't shame rest, but it warns against drifting through life without intention. Wisdom understands that small, consistent choices shape our future, saving a little over time, maintaining relationships, showing up when it's inconvenient. These things rarely make headlines, but they build a life. Another theme in Proverbs is humility. It tells us that pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Most of us don't think of ourselves as prideful, but pride often shows up quietly. It sounds like I don't need help. I already know that. They're wrong, not me. Wisdom sounds different. Wisdom says, teach me. I could be mistaken. What can I learn here? This posture opens the door to growth. Wisdom also helps us understand timing. There is a time to speak and a time to be silent, a time to act and a time to wait. Many regrets come not from what we did, but when we did it, we spoke too soon, we acted too quickly, we committed before we were ready. Wisdom teaches us to pause, to pray, to consider. The book of Proverbs does not promise an easy life, but it does promise a better way to walk through it. It acknowledges that life can be unfair, that the wicked sometimes seem to prosper, that the righteous sometimes struggle. Wisdom does not deny reality. It helps us navigate it. And here's something important to remember. Wisdom is not about being right all the time. It is about becoming more loving, more patient, and more faithful. Wisdom shapes our character. As we grow in wisdom, we often become slower to judge, quicker to forgive, more gracious with others' mistakes because we remember our own. This is especially important in families, parents, grandparents, adult children. Wisdom helps us choose relationship over being right, understanding over winning. It reminds us that people are more important than opinions. Wisdom also changes how we view our past. Instead of seeing only regret, wisdom allows us to see purpose. Not that every bad choice was good, but that God can use even our mistakes to shape us and help others. Your story matters, not just the polished parts, but the broken ones too. Someone else may need the wisdom you gained from a season you wish had never happened. Now let's talk about encouragement. No matter your age, it is never too late to seek wisdom, and it is never too early either. Wisdom is not reserved for scholars or pastors or experts. It is offered to anyone willing to listen. The Bible says that if we lack wisdom, we can ask God, and He gives generously. That means wisdom is not something we have to earn on our own. It is something we receive as we walk with Him. You may be in a season right now where you feel uncertain, facing a decision, at a crossroads. Wisdom may not give you all the answers at once, but it will often give you the next right step. Sometimes wisdom says, wait. Sometimes it says, apologize. Sometimes it says, let go. Sometimes it says, begin again. And sometimes wisdom simply says, trust me. As a challenge, consider this. Begin reading one chapter of Proverbs each day, matching it to the day of the month. Don't rush. Don't try to master it all at once. Read slowly. Pay attention to what stands out. Ask yourself, how does this apply to my life right now? You may be surprised at how often the words meet you exactly where you are. Also, seek out wise people. Listen more than you speak. Ask questions. Value experience. And if you are someone with years behind you, don't underestimate the wisdom you carry, your story, your lessons, your perspective. They are needed. In closing, remember this. Wisdom is not about having all the answers. It is about learning to walk well, even when the path is uncertain. It is about choosing humility over pride, growth over comfort, love over being right. Thank you for spending this time with us today. Got a question you'd like us to explore in a future video? Drop it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. For now, rest in the knowledge that the one who loved you first has already prepared a place for you in his eternal family, and may his voice ring clearly and powerfully this very day.